Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined our community. Check out the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage for easy access to videos about the body area you want to work on, or the amount of time you have for your yoga practice today, or if you want to stay seated or stand more. And if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget it's free and we'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore poses for a healthy life to boost your strength, your balance, and your mental well-being. So you'll need a chair and a yoga block for today's class. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can substitute a big book, or you can just do the class without it. So let's get started. So we're going to take a moment to move forward in our chair, okay? So we're not leaning back, and we're going to ground our feet to the earth. So all that means is just feel like they're connected to the earth and equally weighted. So we're not bending those knees in or out. So the same thing with our sits bones. We want those to be on the chair, and we want it to be equally weighted, okay? Now, if it feels okay, we're going to lift through the heart, and we're going to take our palms and place them up towards the ceiling and just resting lightly on your thighs. Crown of the head is to the ceiling, shoulders are down out of the ears. Let's close our eyes and just breathe. Just your natural breath here, focusing in, connecting to that breath. We're letting go of everything outside of the room. We're going to begin to elongate that breath. So we'll inhale a little more deeply, and we'll exhale a little more completely. And now we're going to move that breath down into the diaphragm. So as we inhale, the belly extends. We are filling our lungs from the bottom up. And as we exhale, we actively pull the belly button in towards the spine as we push the air up and out of the lungs. So it's a very active breath. Do that just a couple more times. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. Right. We're going to look over our right shoulder. So this is just your natural range of motion here. Don't force anything. And then we're going to look center. And then we're going to look over the other side. And we're going to look center. Let's do that again. Let's look to the side. And center. And we're going to do that one more time on the other side. And look center. Nice. Okay, so we're going to move into mountain pose. We'll start with our hands down by our side. I personally like spreading my fingers wide, giving my hands a little stretch. If that doesn't work for you, leave it out. It's okay, right? Hands are just down by the side. Shoulders are down out of the ears. Belly is tight. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Goalpost arms. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you, feeling the stretch through the upper body. A little bit of squeeze for those shoulder blades back behind. Extend your hands to the ceiling. Now, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to bring it down to the chair. We're going to extend our left hand up towards the ceiling, extending that mountain. And now we're going to lean. So as we lean our mountain, I want you to think about keeping this hip down and on the chair. Holding onto that chair gives you a little support. Now, take your hand towards the ceiling, turn and look up at that hand. And then we're going to lean our mountain again. Hand to the ceiling, turn and look up. And we're going to do that one more time. Lean that mountain. Hand to the ceiling, turn and look up. Bring that hand down to your lap. Okay, we're going to do that whole thing again for the other side. Mountain pose. Spread those fingers nice and wide, making sure you're lifting up through the sternum, right? Shoulder blades back. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you for that goalpost or goddess arms, right? I call it goalpost arms sometimes. Kind of looks like a goalpost if you're a football fan. Extend those hands to the ceiling. Now that left hand is going to come to the chair. That right arm is going to extend, and we're going to lean that mountain. Don't forget, keep that opposite hip down, right? You want to keep that hip down. And then we're going to take that hand and we're going to turn it to the ceiling, and we're going to kind of turn and look up at that hand. And then we're going to lean. So it's just a little bit of a twist, a baby twist. And then hand to the ceiling, turn and look up at that hand. And then we're going to do that one more time. Lean your mountain. That hand's going to come up to the ceiling, and then we're going to bring that hand down to our lap. Okay, very, very good. So we're going to do a seated twist next. And I'm going to cross one knee on top. And if that isn't something that feels good for you, then you're going to leave your left leg out and you're going to bring that right knee and bring it across. Okay, so either is really fine. Okay, so now we're going to take our right hand and we're going to place it on the inside of that knee. Opposite hand is to the chair. Lengthen through the spine, and we're going to turn and we're going to look over that shoulder. We're hanging out here. We have one more breath. Let's face forward, and then we're going to bring this hand on the outside of the leg, opposite hand to the chair. Lengthen through the spine, pull the shoulder back, turn and look over that shoulder. One more breath here. Face forward, and we're going to unravel. Okay? And then we're going to do the other side. So remember, you can cross ankle to ankle. Don't bring this foot in though, right? Keep this foot out and cross, or you're going to drape this leg on top. Okay? Now we're going to start with the left hand on the inside of the leg. Opposite hand to the chair. Lengthen through the spine. Don't leave that part out. Pull the shoulder back. Turn and look over that shoulder. And then we're going to face forward. And then we're going to do the other side. So this hand's going to come to the outer edge of that leg. Opposite hand to the chair. Lengthen through the spine. Nice crown of the head to the ceiling. Pull that left shoulder back. Turn and look. One more breath here. Go ahead and face forward. Unravel those feet and grab a sip of water. We're going to come to standing on the right side of our chair, and we're going to be facing our chair. Your feet are about hip distance apart. So we're going to be doing a forward fold series. Now, I'm going to hinge right at the hips very slowly, and I'm going to place my hands in the seat of the chair. Now, if that's, a little much, you can have your block here, and you can have your hands on that block, okay? So that's fine. So whatever feels good for you. We're going to try to let that heart fall forward. So for right now, let's not worry about tucking our chin and letting our head fall. Let's go ahead and keep our head above our heart. So we're just, as we come down, we're just keeping the back flat and really feeling a good stretch into the backs of the legs, okay? We have one more breath here. Now, feel free to bend those knees and roll up into a standing position, okay? All right, so that one is a really, really good version. If you want a little bit more, we're going to be using our block. So we're going to step away a little bit from the chair, and I'm going to place my block between my feet. And I'm going to have it on that number 3 position, right? So that tallest position. So we're going to do the same thing. Just hinging right here at the hips, we're going to come forward. And we're going to place our hands on the block now. And again, let's just keep our heart lifted for right now. We'll come into a version here in a minute where we kind of let the head fall. But for right now, let's just keep our head above our heart and just letting the heart fall forward for a good stretch into the back of those legs. Let's bend the knees and we'll roll up again. Okay, so hold that chair. All right, is that feeling all right? We're going to do that now with the block on that next lower position. So we're just kind of building into this one. So we're going to hinge forward again. Remember, your hands can be on that chair if that's feeling better for you. If you don't have the block, you're just going to have your hands resting on your legs, okay? And you're just kind of walking your hands down your legs. So we're feeling the stretch. I don't know about you. I'm certainly feeling it in my hamstrings, but I'm even getting a little bit into my back now. So from here, if it feels okay, we're just simply going to move that block down that last position. Now, go ahead and see if it feels okay. Let your head fall. I'm looking now between my legs behind me. We're going to release the block and we're going to grab our elbows. So, hanging out here for just a moment, feeling the stretch. Now, bend your knees pretty generously and see if we can transfer the stretch from the hamstrings to the back, okay? So now I've got my knees bent. I'm still bent over my legs. I've got my elbows and I'm in ragdoll. Let's nod our head yes. Shake our head no. Nod our head yes. Drop your hands back to the block. Bend the knees pretty generously. Hold on to your chair as you roll up into a standing position. So you might be a little bit with that head down below your heart. You might be a little dizzy, so just hang on to that block. Hang on to the block. Hang on to the chair for just a moment. Okay. All right. Really, really good. Now, we're going to do something. It's straddle forward fold, so it's similar, but we're going to have our feet a little bit wide. Okay. So we're facing our chair. We're going to do a heel toe and a heel toe. Okay. You know what? And let's do a heel. So my toes are pointing out. So this is going to get a little bit more into the side of those legs. Does that make sense? Did that make any sense at all? So my feet are wide. My toes are pointing this way. Instead of at a diagonal, all 10 toes are pointing forward. Okay. So now I'm going to hinge forward again, and I'm going to place my hands in the seat of the chair. Bend your elbows a little bit if you wish. Keep the back flat, so I'm still keeping my head above my heart. All right, so I'm going to bend one knee and I'm going to revolve the opposite direction. So I'm revolving, opening up. And then I'm going to come down, place my hands in that chair, and then I'm going to bend the other knee and revolve the other way. So the inner thigh is really working here, and down we go. And let's do that one more time. So bending that opposite knee as I revolve my straddle forward fold. And come down, and we're going to do that again on the other side. Down we go. Let's straighten the legs and heel toe in. Okay, did that feel okay? So we're going to do that one more time. And then if you want to have a little bit more, instead of your hands in the seat of the chair, you can have your hands on the block. So again, I want you to do what feels good for you, right? So let's heel, toe, heel. Hinge forward. Maybe the hands are resting on the block. Maybe the hands are resting in the chair. Maybe the hands are resting on your legs, right? Okay, we're going to bend this opposite knee as we revolve the other direction, okay? So the opposite knee of the direction you're revolving. It doesn't matter which. And then down we go. And then revolve the knee, bend the knee and open up the other way. And down we go. Let's do that again. Open. And down. Last time, last side. Open. And down. Go ahead and hold your chair, lift up, and heel toe those feet in together. Okay. Very, very good. So let's just set our block in our chair if you have it, and then we'll come back to it in just a moment. So we're going to work into dancer pose. And dancer pose is a balance pose, but I'm going to give you lots and lots of options, okay? So don't panic here with thinking, oh my goodness, here I've got I've got balance. So I would step back just a little bit so that the seat of that, or the back of that chair, you've got your hand just resting on the back of that chair. Now, you're going to take the leg next to the chair. I tell you what, let's just start with the arms. We're not even going to add the legs yet. Let's just do the arms first. We're going to take this hand and we're just going to lift it up. My feet are on the floor. And then we're going to bring that hand down. And then we're going to do that again. So all I'm doing is I'm lifting that arm up. Okay? Palm is facing in. If you can look up at it, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to. And down. Okay. Now, the first add-on is that same leg. We're just going to take a step forward and we're going to lift that arm up. And down we go. Let's do that again. Step it forward. And back we go. We're going to do that one more time. Step it forward. And up we go. Okay. Now, if you have your block, you're going to set that block down. And instead of stepping forward, we're going to place our toes on that block. And then we're going to lift. Okay, and down. And then we're going to do that again. So just see how that feels. And down. Okay, now if you want the final version of this pose, I'm going to set my block aside. I'm going to hold on to my chair. Now I'm switching legs, okay? So I know it's a little funky, but I'm switching legs. And I'm going to slide, I'm going to bring that knee up into a tabletop position, okay? I'm going to slide my arm down the thigh, across the knee, along the shin. I'm going to grab my ankle and I'm going to bring that knee down. So notice how my knees are even with one another. Then if you want to, you're going to let go of the chair and you're going to lift your arm up. There's a beautiful version of dancer pose. One more breath. Down we go and release. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, so remember the first thing we do, we want to be back so that kind of the back of that chair is right here and even with us. And we're going to take just the arm and we're going to lift it up. So it's the arm next to the chair and we're going to bring it down. And let's do that again. We're just going to lift that arm up and we're going to bring it down. Okay, let's add that step. So this is the leg. We're going to just step it forward. We're up on those back toes. And step it back. Let's do that again. Step it forward. Lift that arm up. And step it back. Let's do one more like that. Up. And back. Okay. Now if you've got your block, if you want to set that block down, you're going to place those toes on that block. So now we're less stable, right? And we're going to lift that arm up. Pull your belly in, right? Let's do that again. Lift that arm up. And down. Can we do that one more time? Lift that arm up. And down. Okay. And then if you want the final version, I know we switch legs now. Hold that chair to start with. You're going to bring that knee up to that tabletop position. Your hand is going to slide along the thigh, over the knee, down the shin. Grab your ankle. Drop that knee down so both knees are even with one another. Pull that belly in as tight as you can. Let go of the chair and extend that arm out. One more breath. Grab that chair and down we go. Very good dancer poses, everybody. Okay, so we're going to come to the other side of our chair. And we're going to be doing a heel, toe, heel, toe. So we're going to move into our goddess legs, okay? So we're going to bend our knees, shoot your hips back, hold on to that chair. All right, so here we are. This is horse pose. We've got our goddess legs here. We're going to clasp our hands behind our back and push those knuckles down towards the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. And then we're going to lift those hands up behind us as we lean forward. So my hands are coming up behind me. I've actually got my block in my chair. That wasn't necessarily, I didn't plan that, but it kind of feels good to rest my head on my block. One more breath and up we go. Our hands are going to come back down behind you. Release that and heel toe those feet in together. So I don't know if you probably couldn't see what I was doing because you were down in humble horse, but I had my block here, and then it just peeked at me real quick. So as I came down, my head just kind of rested on my block, and it actually felt kind of good. So if you want to do that, you can. If you don't have the block and your head can come down and rest to the seat of the chair, that might be a good option too. But don't force it, right? If that's too much, getting the head down, don't force it. It's not worth it. Okay, but we're going to do it again. So here we go. Heel, toe, heel, toe. So my feet are at a diagonal, okay? So hips, knees, and feet are in alignment. Feet are at a diagonal. So I'm going to bend my knees as I shoot my hips back behind me, okay? Moving into those goddess legs. So notice how my heart stays lifted. Clasp the hands behind your back. Push those knuckles down towards the floor. Open up through that chest. Now, I'm going to let my heart fall forward as my hands come up behind me. Maybe my forehead touches the block. Maybe it touches the chair. It doesn't have to touch either. Doesn't matter. We have one more breath here. Now, begin to let your hands come back down to the back. Straighten those legs up. Lift your heart up. And release. How did that feel? Heel toe your feet in together. I know that was a challenging one, for sure. Okay, so we're going to move into cat and cow behind our chair. Okay, so we are going to have our feet just right here behind the chair, and they are about the distance of the legs of the chair. We're going to bring our arms up and bring your hands back behind your head and open up through those shoulders, okay? So this is a version of cow pose, lifting up through the heart. Now, we're going to roll down, bring your elbows in, and just hold on to the back of that head as you let that head fall. Inhale, we're going to lift our upper body up. Elbows are going to come wide. Looking up slightly, inhale here. Exhale, come down. Your elbows are going to come down towards the floor. You're not pulling on the head though, okay? So you're just letting that head come down. Rounding that spine. All right, let's do that again. Lifting up, the shoulders come up. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind, looking up. And then down we go. Hold and breathe. So you're holding the movement, but you're not holding the breath. Letting that head fall, feeling that stretch. One more breath. Hands to that chair. Go ahead and roll it up. Okay, let's have a seat. And grab a sip of water. We're going to come to standing on the right side of our chair. And you'll be facing me. So you're going to take your feet. We're going to be doing an eagle pose series. So we're going to take our feet, and this is a variation, and they're going to be hip distance apart, okay? Your feet are on the floor, hip distance apart. Remember, so anytime we're moving, this will be a little bit of a balance here in a minute, but we want to keep those abdominals super engaged and lift our pelvic floor muscles, okay? So we're going to do it without lifting anything off the floor, with our feet lifting off the floor to begin with, so that you can continue to do that version if you prefer, or you can add on, all right? So we're going to cross wrist to wrist. Then we're going to twist towards our chair. And then we're going to come center, and we're going to twist the other way. And we're going to come center. We're going to lift up, come back center, and then down we go. and then come back center, and let's unravel. Okay, so keep the hips forward. The work is happening at the rib cage. All right. So now let's, whichever wrist you had in front, we're going to do the other one. Doesn't matter. Just switch it up, and then we're going to twist away from our chair and center towards our chair and center down and center and up. And center, bring those arms wide. One arm is going to be on top of the other. We're going to hug ourselves. We're going to twist to our chair. And center, twist away from the chair. And center, elbows up. And center, elbows down. And center, open, hug yourself the other way. Other arm on top. Twist away from your chair. And center. Twist towards your chair. And center. Elbows down. And center. Elbows up. And center. And release. Okay, so you've got two great versions. If you don't want to do the eagle arms, you're going to do either the wrist or the hug. But if you want to do eagle arms, we're going to bring our forearms parallel to one another. And we're going to take our right arm, swing it underneath, put the backs of your arms together or the fronts of your palms together. Either is fine, right? So if the fronts of the palms are together, wrists need to be straight. So not weird wrists, right? If so, then just put the backs together. Okay, let's lift up and forearm away from our face. We're going to twist towards our chair. And center. Remember, hips stay forward. Twist away from your chair. Come center, lift up, come center and lift down. And center, unravel. And now we're going to do the other arm on top, okay? Backs of arms together, or backs of palms together or fronts of palms together, lift up, forearms away from the face. Okay, are we ready? We're going to twist away from our chair first. And we're going to come center. And we're going to twist towards our chair. And we're going to come center. We're going to lift down. And we're going to come center and then lift up. And come center and release. Okay, so those are really good versions. Now, if you want to play around with your balance, what we're going to do is either we're going to have our block there. So hold on for a moment and put that right foot on that block. Okay, really belly tight. Let's release the chair if it feels okay. And let's just do the crossing of the wrist. We're not going to do all the others. If you really have a hankering to do eagle arms or hug, go for it. I'm going to just cross at wrists. Okay, we're going to twist towards our chair. Oh, do you feel it? Belly tight. And we're going to come center. And then we're going to twist away from our chair. And we're going to come center. And we're going to bring those wrists down. And we're going to come center. And we're going to bring the wrists up. And we're going to come center. And let's release that. Okay. Let's do the other side. Do you want to try it with the block? Or do you want to try it without the block? If you don't want to have the block, maybe you have the block there, but then you lift your toes up off of it and see how that feels. Okay? Let go of the chair. You can have your toes on the block. It's fine. Or not. Let's cross wrist to wrist. Are we ready? Belly tight. Let's twist away from our chair. And we're going to come center. And we're going to twist towards our chair. I know. I feel it. And we're going to come center. Let's go up. And center. And we're going to go down. And center. And put that leg down. How did you do? I know. Balance is very challenging. Okay. So we're going to turn and we're going to face our chair, and we're going to be doing a pyramid pose. So the first version of this, we're going to use our chair, and then the second time we'll use our block. Okay, so just kind of have your block here under your chair, and we'll be coming to it in a moment. So we're going to take our foot next to the back of the chair. Okay, so take that and just kind of step it under your chair. The foot is a little bit under the chair, and then the other leg you're going to take a step back. Now we want that heel down and we want the foot at that 45-degree angle. Okay, so I don't know, the heel is down and the foot is at a bit of an angle. Bring your hips around. So this is one of the important things in our triangle poses. We want to keep those hips down, around towards the seat of the chair. Keep that front leg straight, okay? Now, hinging at the hips, don't hinge at the waist, hinge at the hips. We're going to come forward, and I want you to try to shoot your head forward. Go ahead and place your hands in the seat of the chair, right? Keep this hip back. So the leg that's long, the one that's in front of you, make sure that hip stays back, and then just let your heart fall forward. So there's a standing pyramid pose. Excellent. All right, one more breath here. Now go ahead and bend your front knee, and we're going to come up and grab that chair. Okay, how'd that feel? Okay, so now instead of putting your hands in the seat of the chair, we're going to put it on our block. So I'm going to bring my block here. I'm going to step back just a little bit. I think I'm going to hit my chair. So I'm going to step back just a little bit, and I've got my block there. Okay? So remember, hips are forward, right? Front leg is straight. This is straight. We're working into the back side of that front leg, okay? So the hamstring. So hips are forward. Begin to hinge forward. Notice that my head is going out. Now I'm going to place my hands on that block instead of the seat of the chair. So again, I still have a relatively flat back. I'm looking out, not down. My hips are back, especially this hip of the leg that's straight in front of you. You really want to bring that hip back to feel the optimum stretch in that pyramid pose. One more breath. Okay, let's go ahead and bend the front knee, grab your chair, and roll it up. Okay, excellent work. Now, I know we're doing the same leg, but we're going to do it one more time, and we're going to do that final little piece, and then we're going to go into the other side, okay? So back to that 45-degree angle, that foot, the heel is down. Bring those hips around. That front leg is straight. Okay, so now instead of coming forward and putting our hands on the block, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our hands behind our back, and we're going to push those hands down towards the floor behind me. See what's happening? I'm lifting up through that heart. Front leg stays straight. Are we ready? Let's hinge forward. Remember, this is an add-on. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. My hands are coming up behind me. That front leg is straight. We have one more breath. Now listen, let go of your hands first. Grab the chair. Bend the front knee and roll it up. Okay, excellent work. Now we're going to do the other side. So grab your block, come to the other side of your chair. So we're going to take the leg again. It's the leg next to the back of the chair. We're going to put that foot kind of, up close to the chair, and then you're going to take a step back with that other leg. The heel is down. Hips face forward, straighten your front leg. Pyramid pose, right? So that front leg is straight. We're stretching the back side of that leg. Hips are forward. Okay, hinging at the hips, we're going to come forward. Place your hands in the seat of the chair. Do you notice that my back stays flat, right? So I'm not rounding through the upper back. I'm keeping my back flat. I'm just letting my heart fall forward. Keep that front leg straight. Keep those hips forward. Pyramid pose. All right, go ahead and bend the front knee and roll it up. Now get your block set there. Remember, if you don't have a block, don't worry. You're just going to keep doing that same version. If you've got your block, okay, front leg is straight, hips are forward, right? Extend the spine. Inhale here, exhale. We're going to come forward and we're going to place our hands on the block. Pyramid pose. We have one more breath here. All right, bend that front knee and up we go. Okay, let's do that one more time before we add that final piece. Okay, are we ready? Straighten that front leg, extend nice and long, hinge. Bring those hands to the block. Front leg is straight. Hips are back. One more breath. Bend that front knee and up we come. Okay, Do you want that final version? Your choice. Here we go. Hips are forward, right? Front leg is straight. Hands behind. Press those knuckles down towards the floor, lifting up through the heart. And we're going to let that heart fall forward. Hands come up behind you. Oh yeah, pyramid pose. We have one more breath. Bring your hands down, bend that front knee, and release. That was so good, you guys. Really, really good. Okay, let's grab a sip of water. So we're going to move a little forward in our chair, and if you have your block, you're going to grab it and place it right between your feet. We're going to lift up through our heart, bring our arms back behind, and squeeze our shoulder blades back behind us. So a wide elbowed cow pose. Now from here we're going to move into child's pose. So the first thing we're going to do is round down, and then you're going to take your hands and you're just going to place them between your legs and just kind of let your upper body fall forward. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit forward, okay? Now let's do that again. So we're going to place our hands back behind our head. Elbows are wide, squeeze those shoulder blades back behind. Keep those feet grounded to the earth. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to move forward, arms on those thighs. Let those hands just fall between you. Your legs, just kind of letting your head fall. And up we go. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but this time instead of just being here in child's, we're going to go ahead and begin to place our hands on our blocks. I'm going to personally start with my block a little flatter. If you want to start with your block here, or if you want to start with it a little flatter, it's fine, right? So you pick where you want it to be. All right, are we ready? Hands behind the head. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. Remember, feet are grounded. Pull that belly in. Ready? Here we go. As we come into our child's pose, we're going to let our hands fall between our legs. Maybe the hands come to that block. Let the head fall if that feels okay for you. Just kind of letting the upper body hang out here. One more breath. Roll it up. And we're going to do that again one more time. Arms up. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. Come into that child's pose. So your legs are wide. Your upper body is going to kind of sink down between your legs. Your hands are going to rest on the block, or maybe it's just they're resting on the floor. We have one more breath here, and then we're going to roll it up into a seated position. Okay. All right. Very, very good. So if you have your block, you're going to grab it in your right hand, okay? So and actually let's do it instead of the bottom, let's do it here on this side. So we're going to bring those arms nice and wide. Now I want you to take your left arm and I want you to bring it all the way across the body and grab that block, and then we're going to open it. And then we're going to bring it across and we're going to grab the block and we're going to open it. So make your arm do the movement. Don't bring the block to the arm. Make the arm come across. So our elbows are still bent, and we're going to reach over and grab that block, and we're going to open. And we're going to do that one more time. Elbows are bent. Grab the block, open, and grab the block and open. Now, instead of elbows bent, let's straighten the arms. See how that feels. Come all the way across, grab that block, and open. All the way across and grab that block. You feel it? Oh boy, right? Stretch over and grab that block. Bring the arm to the block, not the block to the arm. Bring it all the way across, bring that arm to that block, and then open. Now we're going to go overhead. Up overhead, grab that block, and arms come out. Up we go, grab that block, and arms come out. Again, if you don't have the block, you're just touching hands together. It's okay. Touch and open. One more on each side. Up. Last one, last side. Up. And release. Do you feel your arms, shoulders, right? Let's roll those shoulders a little bit. All right. Excellent work. Go ahead and set your block down. We're going to take our right knee and we're going to open it nice and wide, and we're going to let our left knee fall down towards the floor. So we're going to push that foot back. So think about the back of the kneecap goes up towards the ceiling. Now, your left arm, this outside arm, you're going to bring it up and over, and you're going to reach it back towards that back calf. One more breath here. Let's bring that arm up and over. Let's release the knee, and we're going to do that one more time. Back of the kneecap towards the ceiling. Bring that arm up and over. Hand back towards that calf of that extended leg. I'm looking down at it. One more breath. And up we go. All right. Whew. Let's go ahead and face forward. So the same leg is going to extend out in front of you, toes to the ceiling. We're going to lengthen nice and long through the spine. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, we're going to bring those arms out to that extended leg. And then up we go. Inhale, arms extend up to the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to come down. Hands come down to that leg or the foot or whatever. Up we go. A moving pyramid pose. Now, this time as we exhale, we're going to come down and we're going to hold and we're going to breathe. Ha for 3 and 2 and 1. And then we're going to roll it up and release. Let's do the other side. Left knee opens, right knee falls down towards the floor. Push that foot back behind you. Lift your heart. So relax this glute, back of that kneecap lifts up towards the ceiling. Now that outside arm comes up and over, and it's going to come back towards that calf, and I'm going to look down at it. And then I'm going to bring that arm up. Inhale here, exhale, we're going to come down, hand back to that calf, look. And do it one more time. Up we go. Bring that hand down. And release. Oh my goodness. All right, now the right leg extends out, toes to the ceiling. We're going to lengthen nice and long through the spine, and we're going to let that heart fall forward. Oh, I forgot. We're going to do the extended version, aren't we? Tuck the chin and roll it up. All right, ready? Extend those arms up. Inhale. Exhale, down we go. Roll it up. Inhale, hands extend to the ceiling. Exhale, down we go. One more time. Inhale, up we go. And exhale, down we go. And then we're going to hold it for 3 and 2 and 1. And go ahead and roll up to seated. All right. Very well done. Let's go ahead and move back in our chair. You can lean back if you wish. Hands are going to rest lightly on those thighs. Flip those palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, close the eyes.
Steps available to you. You have the ability. You have the opportunity. You have resources. Transform them into value. Your needs will not be met by merely focusing on those needs. To satisfy your needs and desires, you must do what you can do with whatever you have. You can't do everything, yet you can do something. Conditions are not perfect, yet they do present you with certain opportunities. Within the limitations, within the restraints, within the challenges, those very real opportunities exist. Seek to find them, to focus on them, and to act on them. Wishing for things to be easier will only make things harder. So spend your energy on productive action rather than on empty wishes or toxic resentments. There is a path from here to where you need to be. Take the steps available to you and put yourself solidly on that path.
Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open the mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. And release. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I am so very grateful for each and every one of you. Click the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.